And welcome back to part 9, folks. Looks like, weirdly enough, now we're somehow at Wayne Manor. Uh, Last I recall, we were still trekking through Arkham Mansion, but looks like there's something trippy going on again. Kind of like deja vu. Well, if you remember at the library last time, before we entered the last door, there was some kind of colorless smoke in the air, so yeah, it does all seem a little familiar, doesn't it? Anyhow,
I'm sorry,
I'll
Daddy.
let you listen.
Go easy on him, Tom. He loved it so. Alfred will wait. Keep up, Bruce. Where are you taking us?
We can cut through here.
But it's starting to rain. Bruce is tired. Can't we just wait for him here?
Come on, keep up. We're nearly there.
As you can probably tell by now, these are some more of Bruce's recollections from his childhood when he had lost his parents in a back alley after seeing a movie.
Tom! Oh God, Tom!
Be quiet, lady. Just shut up.
Stay away from me! Run! Mommy!
And thus, Batman was born.
Come on, kid, this way. Take a seat in my office.
Is he okay?
He'll be fine. Kid like that and all that.
This is a little conversation between somebody working in the police force and young Commissioner Gordon.
Whatever you say, Gordon. His butler's on his way to pick him up.
I like how this scene almost reflects one of the biggest criticisms that the fan base of the DC universe has over Batman, you know? Sure, his parents were killed when he got young. His parents got killed when he was young, but he's a billionaire. Who really cares? Just move away from Gotham, right? And sometimes through scenes like these, it almost seems like they're directly addressing the audience with their storytelling.
And listen, son. Call me Jim.
That said, though, you've probably all figured out that this is another Scarecrow sequence. Last time we just woke up in a morgue that was abandoned. We never really dealt with Scarecrow. We had one really cool side-scrolling section, and then we've just listened to a lot of backstory through his interview tapes. And here we have another. This one incorporates, of course, our newest upgrade. Last time we had to use the explosive gel to get through some obstacles in this challenge, and now we have to use the Batclaw as well. Really though, just like last time, this is just a big patience game. I did screw up a couple of times, you know, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not perfect at these. I always considered myself a video game player who had good patience, but these sections sometimes get the best of me. However though, this is a new, I guess, section added to the Scarecrow levels. He will summon skeletons that you fight. Of course, they just work like any other regular henchman you fight, but they have significantly less hit points, and you know, when they're equipped with weapons, they don't have lead pipes, they usually have swords, which is really cool. And yeah, the animations are different, like you saw last time. We just kicked the head off of one of the skeletons. His skull just went flying, right? And yeah, different animations, less hit points. It's not really difficult. I'm sure you could run into the light if you're not paying attention, but even so, they're super weak enemies, and they're incredibly fun to fight. I really like those sections. Again, as we see more of Scarecrow throughout the game, the enemies will get more difficult, but that's a story for another day. Anyhow though, we're pretty much approaching the tail end section of the Scarecrow's level, and we have another beat 'em up level. Again, same thing. What I show off here is that you can actually bait the enemies to come to you, so you're way behind Scarecrow's line of sight, and yeah, if you just wait for them to come to you, there's absolutely no way that you're gonna get spotted by Scarecrow, right? Anyway, just a couple of ledges to climb, and building the scale with your grappling hook, and we should be pretty much near the end. That kind of, you know, is a cherry on top. It's a 3D platformer section, of course. If you caught that little transition, just to let it be known that I'm shit at video games, you know. But yeah, this last final part, you can obviously see the bat signal in the background. This definitely tests your patience. Scarecrow looks from left to right in really big wide cones, and you're always on the edge thinking, oh god, he's just about to turn around, right? And sometimes he doesn't, and then you say, man, I've been waiting for so long, I'm just gonna go for it, and then you get spotted, and so on and so forth. But without that much trouble, because there are checkpoints throughout the level, you should complete this puzzle, I guess, or this platforming section quite easily, and you get rewarded for a whole bunch of XP. Somehow though, we've ended up in the bell tower of the mansion. I'm not really sure how, but yeah, we're pretty good at this. Last time it was the chandelier, and let's destroy the huge bell. Conveniently though, the bell will destroy one of the guard stations that was blocked off by an electrical interference that we couldn't pass. And because we're quite lucky when it comes to physics of destroying things, we can now access the East Wing corridor. Has one riddle in it, but it also has an introduction to a whole new enemy.
You try and get past me, bats, and I will fry you!
You know, this is a little bit of a side note. All these Blackgate inmates are really ripped. They really all have been taking care of their fitness over in Blackgate. Jesus Christ. Anyway, the enemies with the stun batons, they're quite easy to deal with. Of course, it gets more and more difficult when you combine them with regular henchmen, with the henchmen with lead pipes, with the knife-wielding enemies. Then it becomes a little bit more complicated. But when it's just one of them, their weakness really only is the evade strategy, right? You can hop over them and then you hit them from behind, and yeah, that's the best way to take down the stun baton guys. Pulling them in with your Bat Claw will hurt you. It doesn't work. It works just as well as trying to punch them, again, which is not at all. So yeah, your best bet, if you can't perform a silent takedown, is that you hop over them and take them out the old-fashioned way. However though, Victor Zsasz has gotten to the doctor. Sadly though, he is quite disappointing.
You monster! You evil, evil, evil monster!
He's not going anywhere. You can stop now.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
I saw Bane.
I know. Joker threatened me. I wanted to stop the experiment. I tried to give him his money back.
Joker doesn't take no for an answer.
He wants an army, a horrible twisted force to destroy Gotham, but he couldn't do it without the formula. I hid it, but...
So now he has Venom and your formula.
God, he has gallons of the stuff. There's a lab, hidden in the gardens. It's locked off, but the security key codes for the entire island are in the Warden's safe.
What else is Joker planning?
How should I know? You think anything he says makes sense? I think he's insane. Oh my god!
Get out of the way!
Poor Dr. Young. Still, you know how Mr. J hates a squealer. Talking about squealers.
Somebody help
That old loony actually thinks he runs this place. Talk about crazy. Well, bad places to go. Get it, boys. If he gets up, knock him down, but not too rough. Mr. J needs him at the party.
Like I was saying, Victor Zsasz, since we last saw him, hasn't really worked on his game plan that much. One batarang is all it takes this time, and it kind of seems like it's another introduction to the corner cover. And, you know, we've seen it already so many times in the game. You know, he was the original mini-boss, where you learn about the gargoyles and the silent takedown, but here, it's just disappointing in my opinion a little bit, I have to be honest. Anyhow though, that explosion was definitely real, and Dr. Young is definitely dead. But it looks like there's a possible solution in the botanical gardens of the Arkham Island. Well, again, I'm not too sure that that's gonna be a real simple solution, right? We're not just gonna open the doors to the mansion, run over to the gardens, find a key that solves this whole puzzle, and then just go home. It's probably gonna be quite a process, but that said, since we are in the Warden's office, there's quite a bit of stuff we can do. First of all, we leveled up from taking down Victor Zsasz. Even though it was incredibly easy, he tends to give out a lot of experience points. And I was really torn between what I'd upgrade this time, but decided to go for the batarang power, because it both powers up the batarangs from the stealth perspective and the combo perspective. And since we have the triple batarang upgrade, you know, it stacks well. I think that's the most eloquent way I could put it. Also, if you've noticed, that explosion didn't really suit Batman the best. His cape is all torn up, that poor guy who was coding it for years on end with 750 plus animations had to work even more, slaving away in his little cubicle. And yeah, now we have 2 rips in the cape. That said though, this little room, just above where Victor Zsasz was taking Dr. Young, has 3 sets of Joker teeth, and those are the ones everybody usually misses. I sure as hell missed them on my first playthrough. I had no idea that this room even existed. So yeah, if you're playing along, or if you're looking for a guide, these are the teeth you're probably missing to complete Arkham Mansion. I mean, the game's been out for almost 9 years, but who knows. Anyhow though, this wall, if you turn on the detective mode, it doesn't look like it's weak, right? It doesn't look like it's possible to explode. However, it is, but it's not in the main game. After you've beaten the game, if you come back to the Warden's office and that exact wall you attempt to destroy again, you will actually see a very hidden room. You will see the blueprints for the extension of Arkham Asylum that Warden Sharp has planned, and it's a direct precursor and an Easter egg that leads directly into the sequel of this game, which is Arkham City, of course. A lot of people don't know about that room, and it's a clip I'll make sure to include at the end of the game, because right now we can't do anything about that. Alrighty. Backtracking all the way outside of the mansion now, we run into a lot of enemies. 2 of them are wielding knives, there's 1 stun baton guy, and as I said, if you manage to get a good combo going, just make sure to use your powerful combo abilities on the armed enemies, and you should be fine. But also make sure to keep it going if you're looking for the free flow combo achievements. But keep in mind though that even if you are, you'll have to complete all the challenges and get the most points, and for that you'll have to get the combos anyway, so you can knock both of those achievements out in the same run at the very end of the game. Anyhow though, there's one more present box left here, and that's the rest of the Joker teeth. I hadn't really talked about the story that much this game, but right, as I mentioned, Dr. Young is dead now. That wasn't a faux explosion or anything. She really is dead, and we have to make headway to the botanical gardens. Or first, I guess our first priority is find where Quincy Sharp is being held hostage, right? We've already saved Commissioner Gordon from Harley. We might as well save the Warden as well, and then probably put an end to her plans, because at this point in the game she looks like she's just as big of a culprit to this whole thing as the Joker, and stopping one of them would be very useful, I think. So let's do that, right? What we're tracing right now is blood of Quincy Sharp. Again, conveniently, right? That seems to be the catchphrase of this playthrough so far. Conveniently, Harley Quinn managed to make Warden Sharp bleed when she hit him with his own cane. They didn't really clean that up, even though only the most valuable part broke off, the jewel. And yeah, we managed to scan it for his DNA, and now we're tracking that sample. But here, I finally show off how batarangs work, specifically multi-batarangs. See how easy that is compared to what we had to do before. Before we'd have to glide kick, and then hopefully, you know, the other still armed henchman doesn't shoot us and kill us right away. It's a drag. But we've got a lot done this episode. We've managed to save Dr. Young briefly, I guess, as sad as that is. And now we're going out of the Arkham Mansion and potentially saving Warden Sharp before he gets killed too.